Welcome to this video for simulating a rectifier, preferably a half-wave rectifier using PSpice Students Edition. Let me open the PSpice Students Edition. So go to the Windows Start menu, and then you have a PSpice schematics here, right here. Otherwise, if you have installed PSpice, you can just search yes, here PSpice Students Edition. If you open it, you have various components like capture, AD, optimizer, stimulus editor, which you will be dealing with later, but currently you have to open schematics. Fine. In the schematics window, you can draw the circuit exactly, and then you have to go for analysis. And once the analysis is set up, you can just run the simulation. To start with, let me go search the parts and then draw the circuit diagram. For that, what we do is we have something called get new part. You can use this menu, or just go to draw, get new part here. Otherwise, you can use this get new part icon straight away. Okay. We require a transformer just to simulate the real-time scenario, a step-down transformer, and a diode, resistor as a load. So to start with, let me use a transformer. You can search using this. If you know the description, you can search, or if you know the part name straight away, you can go type the part name here. Okay. So let me go with description search. First, a transformer. Search. So I get this XFRM underscore linear. The description says inductor coupling transformer. So let me place this. Fine. Right click. If you right click, it will go away. Okay. Then I need a diode. I'm searching using description search diode. I have various diodes, of which I use 1N4002. Place a diode, escape, and then resistor. Pick this resistor. If you want a variable resistor, you can pick this, but for our application, you can pick a standard resistor. Place. Okay. Press escape key. So for our circuit, I think component wise this is good, and we need a voltage source. So let me type voltage here. I have various parts related to the voltage. Okay. So there is something called VSIN to generate a sine wave, VSIN. So place that VSIN. And we require ground, earth, ground. So let me search ground. Yes, ground underscore earth. So you can use this ground underscore earth. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Press escape. Let me close this. This is very small, so let me go into zoom fit. Zoom fit. You can drag. You can move this part. Fine. Okay. So for rotating, you can use Control R for rotation. Okay. Pick a wire. Here it should be a wire. Yes. Draw a wire. Connect this. You can connect and complete the circuit diagram. Okay. Just a click and then move it, and then a click. Okay. Click. 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 Right click means it will go away. Okay, let me move this. Fine. Wherever you have a connectivity more than 2 wires, you'll have a node just like here. You require one more ground here, because otherwise you have a loop without a reference. So the parts already being used will be displayed. So these are the parts already being used. You can pick one from this drop down menu, ground underscore. Let me keep it here. Okay. Otherwise, we'll get an error. Also, while simulating, I'll show you what kind of error you'll get. If you want to move the part, you can move the parts. It is possible. Okay. Fit. Okay. When circuit diagram is drawn, after that, we have to go for configuring each component. For example, this is a sine wave generator, and the name part name is V1. If you want to change the part name, you can change the part name as Vin, or you can just leave as such. Open this VSIN, here you have a set of attributes here. So there are some essential attributes, some non-essential, non-mandatory attributes. For example, here offset should be given. Offset is 0 volt. We don't want any DC offset. Amplitude, just to mimic the real-time scenario, let me give it as a 240 volt, and frequency, let it be 50 hertz, 50. Okay, save. Okay, and then the transformer. For the transformer, let the primary inductance be 1 Henry, save it. Secondary inductance also be 1 Henry, save it. Coupling, the amount of coupling, I want a step down transformer 10:1, so let me go for 0.1. Okay, so it's a 10:1 step down transformer. And inductance, if you know a perfect value, you can use. Otherwise, just from my knowledge, I'm just putting it as 1 Henry. Okay, click OK. So the voltage source is configured, the transformer is configured, diode need not be configured, this resistor value is fine. Let me keep the load as 10K. Good, I'm saving it. So since this is a new project, a half-wave rectifier, let me create a folder, HWR, half-wave rectifier _ demo. Open this, open it, and inside that folder, let me give a meaningful name, HWR.sch means schematic. Save it. Okay, so you can see the name here, HWR.schematic. Okay, save this. You have saved the file. Now we have to set up the analysis. Setuping the analysis means what kind of output you want, whether you want a frequency response or you want a time response, or if you want to change a component value and see the response. So it is up to the user to set up the kind of analysis. For that, you can go to this icon, setup analysis. We want a time response, means I want the x-axis to be time. Otherwise, if you want to see the waveform, x-axis should be time. For example, in the CRO, x-axis is time. So with respect to time, we have the amplitude plotted in the CRO. Just to see that, see a similar output waveform, let me go for time response. For time response, you should choose a transient. Transient means time, you know, transient. Print step, you can just leave this column as such, or if you want to change, you can change. This is a kind of sampling time. Final time, we know that we are dealing with 50 hertz signal. So 50 hertz is related to 20 milliseconds or 200 milliseconds. Okay, let me give it as 1 second here. Okay, 1 second. So from 0 to 1 second, you can see the output waveform. Print stub means it's a sampling time. Okay, fine. Okay, close this and save this. And then before running the simulation, this is the simulation icon. Before that, we have to generate the netlist. So analysis, go to analysis, and then you just create netlist. Fine. Or before that, if you want to go for electrical rule check, it's fine. You can run an electrical rule check, and then you can run a create netlist. Okay. If you have any errors, you can see the errors. Fine. You can go to this window, see creating PSpice netlist. Netlist is completed. So there is no prominent error in this. There is no error in the circuit diagram in the electrical sense. Okay. Now let me save this and run the simulation. So you have this window blinking here. Let me open it. Here it shows an error. Voltage source inductor loop. Fine. So there is an inductor loop in the input voltage source. Means this transformer is an ideal transformer. So the primary coil doesn't have any resistance. So you have a loop, infinite loop here. So what I do is let me add a resistance. Okay. Right click, deleting this wire, keeping this resistance, and then using the wire to connect this resistance to the primary and the voltage source. Right click to escape. Just give a small value, say 2 ohm. 2 ohm. because practically speaking, you have a small amount of resistance in the primary coil, so that has been included here. Saved it, and let me run it one more time. Fine. So just check the status. Bias point is calculated. Transient analysis is finished. Simulation is completed. Simulation is completed, so we don't have any errors in this. Now what I do is, let me pick a marker, and this is voltage marker. Before that, if you want to see the voltage and current values, you can enable the voltage here. You can enable the current, but just see here, you have some values. If it is a circuit which deals with DC, it's fine. You have a constant current and voltage. Since you are dealing with the AC, the voltage current is not constant, so it shows some random values. Let me stop this. Okay, that's the reason we go for waveform. So pick a voltage marker and then just put it in the output. Load, right click, go back to this window, just see the output. Okay, that's really cool. So 0 is the starting time, 1.0 second is the end time. So I know there is so many cycles. We will limit the cycles to say 0.2 second. Let me minimize this, go back to the transient setup, and then instead of instead of 1 second, let me change it to 0.2 seconds. Okay, close this, again run it. Fine, this is the output waveform. That's good. If you want to see the output at various nodes, you can pick voltage 1 here, voltage marker, and put it here, right click. Okay, so can you see this? The red one is the output of the secondary coil, or the input to the transformer. You can see, the input to the diode. Let's see here, voltage across diode D1, terminal 1. So this is the terminal 1 of the diode. Okay, just look at here, voltage across R1, terminal 2. So the green one is the voltage across resistance R1, so this is terminal 2. Okay, that's good. Let me try to move this and put it in the diode. Both are same. Yeah, just look at here, voltage D1, terminal 2, and this is terminal 1. So input to the diode is terminal 1, output to the diode is terminal 2. That's good. So if you want to, you can see the rectified output here precisely. Fine. Now if you want to see this in different window, what you can do is you can add a plot, add plot to window. Okay, let me delete the output and say pick the marker and put it one more time. Okay, it's not working. Let me delete this. Yes, this window is being selected. Here I want to see the output, so let me minimize, pull out a marker, voltage marker, and put it here. Okay, right click, go back to the window, just look at here. Okay, so this is the rectified output, whereas this is the input to the diode. Right. Just look at here, this is in the order of say 20 plus 24 volt. You can see the values. Enable this probe cursor. Okay, it is showing the top one, so the top plot window is being taken. Okay, so see the top 5 is the time scale in millisecond, 5 millisecond. This is 22 voltage, y-axis 22.68 is voltage. Okay, that's fine. Okay. You can measure the peaks if you want. It is possible. 23.118 is a peak. Or disable this cursor, select this window. Yeah, you have a CL here. See, this window is being selected. Now enable the cursor and then just move it. See, maximum volt. Enable the peak. It is showing 22.595 volt. Okay, so this is 22.595 and yes, 22.595. Enable the peak and oh, this is the peak. Okay, and just let us mark it. We have marked it. Disable this, again select this window, enable the cursor, and then you find the peak, you have it here, and put a marker. Fine. Okay, so disable this. Okay, so the discussion is here. Just see the drop 23.118, 23.719. So approximately it is 0.6 volt drop. The reason is we have a diode between the load and the secondary of the transformer. So that's the reason we have a drop here, 0.6 volt drop. You know that a diode conducts if the input voltage is over 0.6. Otherwise, see, the drop across the diode D1 is 0.6 volt, and the remaining drop is across this 10k resistor. Okay, that's the reason we have 23.118 here. Here you have 23.719. I hope you understand. Yes, you can add a filter if you want still a smooth output. The output is DC, but there are ripples. So we cannot say the green waveform here as AC because we don't have any negative half cycle. We have only positive half cycle. But the output is not constant. We have ripples. It's going up and it's coming down. So let us see how to convert this into a smooth DC. Okay, I'm reducing this. You can type C to check to have a capacitor. Control R for rotation. I'm putting it here. Right click, take a wire, connect this. Escape. The value is not shown. Let me track this a bit. Okay, let me put this as 1 microfarad, 1 U for micro. Okay, and then run this one more time. That's fine. So now can you see? Wow, it has reduced. The ripple is reduced, but still we have ripples. You can see the ripples. The green waveform shows the output of the rectified output, but still we have ripples. Just to reduce the ripple, what we do is we can increase the capacitance value. We'll make this as 10 microfarad. Okay, before that, just manually we'll verify enabling the cursor. Just look at here. Yes, this is 7.6 volt. It's coming down to 7.6 volt. Now after 10 microfarad you run the simulation. You see the ripple has drastically reduced. Now you enable the cursor and then check the minimum ripple value. Let's see, it has come down to 18. Earlier it was 7, it went till 7. Okay, now it is 18. So the ripple is drastically reduced. Fine. Still, if you want to reduce the capacitance, reduce the ripple, we'll increase the capacitance still more. We'll make this to 100 microfarad. Fine. Now again run the simulation. Just look at here. Okay, the ripple has been drastically reduced. But here initial waveforms, it's slowly building up. The means because of the capacitance we have a transient state here, but slowly the circuit is coming to steady state here. Okay, after the capacitor is completely charged. Fine. What we do is let me increase the time. I want to see this for more time, so let me put it as 0.5 second. Okay, close. Again I'm just running it. Fine. Now you can see the output. See, this is the steady state value. If you don't want to see the input, delete this. Okay, that's neat. Again, just going back to analysis, transient, I want to see for 5 seconds. Okay, close. Again run this. Delete the input. Okay, you see this? Fine. Still it is not a constant DC. We have some ripples here. We will increase the output. We will increase the load resistance value. Still, we'll put this as 100k and see how the ripple is changing. Again run this. Okay, delete the input to the diode. See, it is almost constant. Okay, almost. We can call this as a straight, a DC, a proper DC. Just out of curiosity, I want to change this to 1 farad. It is 1 farad. Okay, 1 farad is really huge. We will see. Okay. Oh, it's quite different. This is quite different. Okay. I think the capacitance is taking a lot of time to charge. We will just explore this. Let me increase the time to 100 seconds. You can calculate all this, 1 minus e power minus t by rc, or tau equal to 1 by rc, all that you can calculate using the rc value. You can calculate the time constant. It is possible. Fine. Just see here, the tool is taking a lot of time because we are running for a few seconds. Let us wait for the tool to complete. I'm expecting the capacitor to be charged after a finite amount of time, and then we should get a constant DC. But 1 farad is really a huge value. Earlier we used only 100 microfarad, but 1 farad is really huge. Okay. Well, let us see how the circuit responds. Fine. That's great. So let me delete this input of the diode. Okay. Just see here, capacitance is charging. This shows a charging curve. It will take some time to settle, but we don't have patience to see that. But this is a perfect DC. What I do is, instead of let's use 1000 microfarad. Run this. Oh, let me stop this because it's going to take a lot of time. I'm running it for say 1 second. Yes. Run this. Replace the prior simulation. Yes, it is fine. But you should note that once you increase the capacitance and resistance value, there will be a drop in the output voltage. Let's just look at here. I'm deleting this. Still, this doesn't seem to be settled to a finite value. So what I do is, let me increase to say 10 seconds. Running it for 10 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Just look at this. Approximately I would say it is 21.37, 21.4 volt. Okay, the maximum DC is 21.4 volt. It's not changing. 21.4. Yes. Okay, that's good.